Welcome to Saul Talk, a WB Saul High School of Agricultural Sciences production featuring the class of 2021 Natural Resource Management students.
I'm Mr. Smith, your Saul Talk host, as well as the career and technical educator responsible for these amazing natural resource management students featured in this episode. Our objective is to bring awareness, understanding, provide solution, and advocate for environmental topics and issues relevant to our class, directly affecting our communities, and impacting our planet at large. Today, my students will be discussing municipal tap water consumption as compared to bottled water.
More than 2 million citizens of the United States and Puerto Rico don't have access to running water, and Latino and African American households are twice as likely as white households to lack clean water and indoor plumbing. A prime example of this is the water crisis in Flint, Michigan. According to the Seattle Times article, Key Moments in Flint, more than 100,000 residents were forced to use untreated, lead-contaminated water. The city's thirst for saving money caused its many urban citizens to contract deadly diseases and have high lead levels in their blood. Although they complained about the foul taste, odor, and discoloration of the water, the government ignored them, making people believe that if they were a heavily white-populated city like their neighbor Birmingham, the government would listen. Philadelphia gets its clean water from the Philadelphia Water Department. The Water Department takes water from the Schuylkill and Delaware rivers, treats them, and serves over 1 million residents with water we use for drinking, bathing, and more. Tap water here is safe to use, but sadly, other cities and states can't say the same.
Hello guys, my name is Tamira, WB Saul High School, and today we'll be interviewing Mara Jarvis from the Water Department of Philadelphia. So what is your affiliation with the Philly Water Department?
So I'm a community outreach specialist, primarily for our Green City Clean Waters program. I do community outreach, so I go to a lot of community meetings and I represent the water department sort of as a liaison between the community and the city. We have a really great initiative that we generally call Drink More Tap, and that's where we're trying to encourage people to drink more tap water because Philadelphia's tap water is really great, super high quality drinking water in Philly, and make it, more of an exciting thing. We want people to feel really good about the water that comes to their house.
Well, I'm pretty sure you get this a lot, but why tap water? I know a lot of people question that so much because bottled water is like the craze nowadays, but why tap water?
The reason why we want to, have this conversation is because, I'm someone who is from Philly. I grew up in Philly. I'm sure anybody who's listening to this podcast, probably is from Philly too. And I think you'd understand that the perception of the water, of the tap water in Philly is really not that great. And so what we're trying to do is sort of counteract that. It's our responsibility to make sure that we're providing you with the best water possible. So we test our water every single day, 24 hours a day. And our standards for treating the water are set by the Environmental Protection Agency, which is really great because if you are getting your water from a natural drinking source, I think it makes more sense that you would want the people making the rules for how that water is treated to be, in favor of environmental protection, because water is part of the environment.
How do we know that the water is safe for the people who are questioning, the tap water safety from, their tap at home?
Absolutely. So, and this is something that we don't take lightly. I completely understand where people's concerns are. We live in a time where a few decades ago, the water honestly wasn't that great. The Environmental Protection Agency has only been around for about 50 years. So there are people who are still living that were, living in a time where the water wasn't that great. And, we have to acknowledge that those people, sort of passed down their perceptions down to their kids and to their grandkids. And we've advanced so much and we've made so much progress that, we want people to have a better understanding of where the water is coming from, of how we're treating it so that they feel comfortable drinking it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's difficult to have that conversation without knowing exactly what we're doing with the water. So I do want to just let you know that we do have a water quality report that we're required to release every single year. So every year we make this really thorough report about every single aspect of our water. And so that report can be found online at water.phila.gov/WQR. That stands for Water Quality Report. And if anyone has questions about, what kind of chemicals are in water, or, how it's treated, how often it's tested, anything like that, you can find all of the answers in great detail in our drinking water quality report.
Water covers about 71% of the Earth's surface. 3% of the Earth's water is fresh. And of that, only 0.5% of fresh water is accessible in the form that can be processed for human consumption. With up to 60% of our bodies being made up of water, it is essential we are regularly drinking water to sustain our health.
Being attentive to the amount of water you drink each day is important for optimal health. According to the CDC, Healthline, and National Academics, you need to drink about 15.5 cups of water. People only get about 20% of their daily water intake from food, and the rest is of how much you drink. The benefit of drinking water, it prevents your tissues, spinal cord, and joints. It helps excrete waste through perspiration, urination, and defecation. It helps prevent constipation. Also, it helps fight off illness.
This leads us to our debate. Which option, tap or bottled water, is better for us? With us, I have Maxine, Sierra, and Joshua representing tap water, and Sean and Aze representing bottled water. For the purpose of this debate, we will define tap water as a large reservoir that has passed through a treatment plant before being piped into our homes by our local municipality. And bottled water, we will define as all drinking water, whether filtered or spring purified, flat or carbonated, that has been sealed into a bottle and sold for consumer single use. Why should we drink bottled water?
A reason why we should drink bottled water over tap water is that on the bottled waters, they have dates of time frames in which you can drink the water without any extra chemicals being added. But with your tap water, you're kind of stuck in the unknowing feeling that you don't know if there's going to be chemicals in it, such as chlorine or lead from your pipes.
Bottled water is an overall better option than tap water because of the safety precautions that's taken to make bottled water. Your bottled water goes through an FDA certification in order to get sold in the first place.
Is the fact that you can have plenty of variety when drinking bottled water, such as spring water, purified water, or even sparkling water. These different types of waters are suited for everybody so that everybody can have their own opinion on what they want. But with tap water, you are just stuck with one single nasty taste in your mouth.
Thank you, Sean. I would like to now direct our attention to our tap water group. Why should we drink tap water?
The reason why we should drink tap water is because it has fluoride in it. So fluoride helps strengthen your teeth and prevent cavities. Bottled water, it doesn't have fluoride in it.
I think you should drink tap water because tap water has a less environmental impact than bottled water. And not only that, tap water is actually tested for chemicals more than bottled water has to be tested. And not only that, half of the bottled water industry is actually tap water. So it's like you're drinking tap water, they're just giving it to you as, oh, it's pure, it's better.
I would like to open up the floor to Team Water Bottle.
So I would like to respond to what Team Tap Water had to say. There were comments and mentions about fluoride and chlorine being in tap water.
Well, actually, both water bottle and tap water have a little bit of chlorine in it.
Top two things that we hear when people say that they drink bottled water is that they don't like the taste or the smell in water. Like a lot of times people in Philly specifically, they're kind of sensitive to the smell of chlorine, which I understand. It is kind of a strong smell, but when you smell chlorine in the water, that's actually a good thing. That means that it's disinfected. That means that we did our job.
So there also was another comment made about how when you brush your teeth, there's fluoride in your toothpaste and there's fluoride in your water. You say that you can't be affected by the chlorine over time and the fluoride, but do you not know that you're drinking water since a child to an adult? Do you not think that chlorine and that fluoride is going to have an effect on your body at some point? You don't want that double the fluoride on your teeth because now you're over strengthening, which you didn't know.
Fluoride, but you brush your teeth. So you're using tap water to brush your teeth, so you get 2 times the fluoride, both from the toothpaste and both from the tap water. So it still doesn't make any sense because you're getting 2 times the fluoride.
Well, no, I get what you're saying, but I'm just giving you something to defend.
Isn't that an overdose of fluoride? Why would you want so
will
much
actually
fluoride?
help
That's
you.
not
You don't want no
healthy for
mold
you.
in it.
No, you don't want that much fluoride in
No,
it.
you
It'll
don't want
kill you.
mold in
Too
your
much of
water.
a good thing will kill you. You
But
cannot
it
have that
ain't
much
about
fluoride
enough
in
Not
your
much.
body.
Don't think you will
All
brushing
Just
your
like
All right,
how
teeth.
let's rein it in. Let's rein it in. Let's rein it in.
Hi, my name is Kaylmar, and today I'm going to be discussing the health concerns that come with drinking bottled and tap water. There are a lot of health risks that come with drinking bottled water, one being that you can be exposed to harmful toxins from the plastic. You risk ingesting the chemicals that are used to make bottles, and these toxins can leach into the water over time. BPA, also known as bisphenol A, and other plastic toxins can make their way into your bloodstream, which can cause problems like various cancers as well as liver and kidney damage. These toxins can accumulate in your system over the years, leaving you prone to a variety of health problems. One problem with BPA is that it acts as a faux estrogen, and when consumed in water through leaching plastic, it can cause a variety of chromosomal abnormalities that have been tied to birth defects and developmental disabilities in children. It has also been found that people who drink a lot of bottled water, especially those who had high concentrations of BPA in their urine, are 3 times more likely to suffer from cardiovascular disease and are 2.4 times more likely to develop type 2 diabetes than individuals with low concentration of BPA. I found all this information at blog.gopurepod.com. Now when it comes to health concerns of drinking tap water, there are only a few. The EWG, also known as the Environmental Working Group, said that 87% of the cancer risk present in tap water come from arsenic and byproducts of common disinfectants. The EWG also found that per 10,000 people, 4 will have cancer over the span of their lifetime due to the contaminants in the water. Long-term exposure to arsenic can cause skin cancer, as well as cancer of the bladder and the lungs. This information can be found at www.USA Today.
And if anyone has questions about, what kind of chemicals are in water, or, how it's treated, how often it's tested, anything like that, you can find all of the answers in great detail in our drinking water quality report.
That concludes our Saul Talk podcast conversation and debate on tap versus bottled water, featuring the class of 2020 and 2021 Natural Resource Management students from WB Saul High School of Agricultural Sciences in Philadelphia. We look forward to you listening to more of our Saul Talk conversations in the future.
To learn more about our school and how to watch our Saul Talk,
follow us on Instagram at WBSaul_media.
We at Saul Talk believe everyone can participate and contribute towards correcting our environmental wrongs and problems.
Saul Talk is a WB Saul High School production featuring Sierra Brody, Ashante Carr, Zadia Liz Davila, Joshua McCuff, Elijah Mendoza, Anthony Rivera, and Sean Washington. Taught by CTE teacher and Saul Talk curriculum producer, Mr. Gregory Smith. Every day is Earth Day.